Alright, like I said, the SummerSlam review, I was going to cover NXT Takeover 36. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I was initially going to go live streaming with the review, but my camera didn't work for some reason, so I decided to do this normal review of NXT Takeover 36. I'm not gonna try to like cover too much stuff because honestly, I didn't like watch most partially of the show. There was really only one match that I paid like mostly attention. Maybe two. You if you want to count. But yeah, but I'm gonna not try to go overboard too much with it. So I'm gonna keep it simple with the show. As far as like so NXT Takeover 36 just happened. We may not get this style of NXT takeovers going forward as they are going to rebrand the NXT brand, making some major changes, and I will cover that at another time. But here I will talk about NXT Takeover 36. In terms of NXT takeovers that I watched this year, this might be the best one, honestly. Out of all of them this year, this might be my favorite of this year. Um, and it definitely helped that I had that one match that might be WWE's match a year or so said and done. So the show started off with the $1 million championship. Is the champion LA Knight against Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase in the $1 million man in his corner. And the stipulation was that if LA Knight wins, now Ted DiBiase will become his butler, since Cameron Grimes was like his butler for like a month. Now it will be Ted DiBiase. I have really enjoyed this view of LA Knight Cameron Grimes. I really feel like it's helped Cameron Grimes get really over as a baby face. And like I think like Son Monster said in his reviews, I don't know when, but he said like he has like Daniel Bryan potential to get over WWE. And it might just happen because I will say those crowds are in those NXT crowds at the Capital Wrestling Show really in on Cameron Grimes $1 million man gimmick. And I really enjoyed DiBiase's involvement. Where he took that, I couldn't believe he took a bump from LA Knight that months ago after the show, after LA Knight won the title, like the ladder match. What was it? Take over in your house. I couldn't believe it, but he took it like a champ, and LA Knight and Cameron Grimes here had a good match. They had a good story and the ending with Ted DiBiase knocking down LA Knight. I think he even put him in the $1 million dreams submission hole. And you knew that was kind of coming because of LA Knight's antics throughout this whole feud. You knew that it was kind of coming, and you knew he was helping Cameron Grimes to win here. So yeah, and it was a feel good moment here to see Cameron Grimes win and win the $1 million championship like I thought he would this since the feud started. That eventually he will win a title, and that's exactly what happened. So, very good match. Really enjoy it. I think the next match was for the NXT Women's Championship. Was the Dakota Kai against the champion Raquel Gonzalez. They didn't pay much attention to it. Um, I just like for the story of the build of life. They tried to make the Dakota Kai just a dastardly heel because Raquel Gonzalez didn't get Dakota Kai the title shots and whatnot. And they really try to make you really try to hate the character, try to make you be sympathetic for working outside. But some of the fans in those NXT shows actually are really not kind to Raquel Gonzalez, and they're not fans. It makes you think like, shouldn't the roles be reversed here? Like, should Raquel Gonzalez should be the heel and the clock I be the face? Just me. And they were not feeling it. From what I heard, from what I saw, it was a decent match. And it had a nice finish where against us. I we hit her finisher on the Kolokai from the middle room. I really thought the Kolokai was going to win. Like everything they built or seemed like the Kolokai was winning. But what happened post-man, I kind of understand why she didn't win. As Kayla Ray, what is it? Kayla Ray came from NXT UK and she confronted Raquel Gonzalez. And that looks like that's going to be the next feud again. I don't know that's gonna be the next feud, but you know eventually this two will feud for over that time. And I think Kayla Ray will win it from her, from Raquel Gonzalez. I think she will be the one to do it. So there's that. And I think the next match was for the NXT UK Championship. It was easily the match of that night. The champion Walter against Ilja Dragunov. Apparently this was the rematch from last year's. Since they had a match in 2020, now they're doing this rematch here. I didn't watch the initial match. I heard it was great, but I think this match trumped over the first one. I think this was the better one. They had some excellent matches, but I think this one was the better of the two. And it was awesome. An awesome match. Water suplexes. I mean, my God, like, I can really feel those suplexes. The way he throws them off, like, you want to talk about Brock suplex, but it's like a German, like, super, he does, like, when Walter does those suplexes, the German one, he does it with full force. Like, he rattles them with Brock when he does them. He does it with force, but not nearly as strong as Walt. And those supers are brutal. And even like Dragon Knobs, that throughout that match, and especially towards the end when he was hitting Walt in the back of the head with those punches, I really feel that at home watching, hitting those chops, and felt like it was pretty kind of gross. Like it was just violence here. Like it was a straight out brawl here between two guys over a championship. And it was great. And it was great. And the fans totally fell for the match, and it was, and the crowd was really into the chops. I mean, I don't know if I could take it that much, but those two are legit tough ass mofos for taking all that chops. And the finish, like, was really kind of clever here. Like, I thought when Dragon did hold the sleeper on Walter, like Walter was just gonna pass out, but no, Walter tapped immediately, like right out of nowhere, just like that. He just tapped from when he locked into the sleeper. But it worked here because throughout the match, Dragonite tried to lock it on fully, and Walter each time tried to get out of it. And in this finish, when Dragonite had it for realsies, Walter realized there was no way out, and he just tapped out. And Walter put Dragonite over in the best way he can. He tapped out immediately to Dragonite's submission hold, the sleeper, man. Yeah, there's not much that guy can be said about to do this match justice. An excellent match. Maybe WWE's match of the year, at least for WWE's day. Either this match or the Roman Reigns Daniel Bryan match in April on SmackDown this year. So Ilja Dragunov is the new NXT UK champion. I think Walter moves into the NXT brand, as I really like to see mix it up with some of the top talent, and they will be pretty foolish at least not to at least consider to Walter to move him up to the main NXT brand. So, and I think that was the impressive thing, like, about this match. Like, these two, Dragonite and Walter, are from the NXT UK brand. They are not from the main NXT brand. And some of the NXT crowd, they really don't have much exposure to NXT UK. And this match was put American soil for the very first time for both men, and the crowd was really into it. As it should, because it was an awesome match. The next was the 2 out of 3 falls match between Kyle Wyatt versus Adam Cole. So, Adam Cole's contract has expired after this, and this is really the last match, the swan song for Adam Cole and NXT. So, how they measure up? So, the 2 out of 3 fall had 3 different stipulations. One was the singles, the second fall was the street fight, and the third fall necessary was steel cage. The match itself was good. I don't think it was as good as the Great American Bash match or the Standard Deliver Takeover match, but it was really good for the most part. It, like, the problem, it felt trapped through most of these 2 out of 3 falls matches, that the first match goes over really fucking fly, like, and it was kind of the exact same way, like, I expected. Like, Kyle wins the first fall, Adam wins the second fall, and Kanye wins the third fall. And we're pretty much on the assassin way, but the problem is like Adam Cole had, I think it was like, remember like Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano like Takeover New York in 2019 was a 2 out of 3 falls, man. It's like, in that match, Adam Cole was, everything was thrown in the kitchen, and he still kept kicking out throughout pretty much that entire match. And that was a 3 out of 3 falls match. So I think that first match, when in the Adam Cole Johnny Gargano match, that first fall lasted a really long time. And when you look at Adam Cole's history in matches, how many times, and it gets to be as nauseating how many times he has kicked out in so many big matches. But here, 2 out of 3 falls against Kyle O'Reilly, and he loses just like that in the first fall. Like, what the fuck? Like, and it's a pattern in this 2 out of 3 format. Like, the first match goes over, fly by that, it just goes over like that. It's just like, why do they keep doing it? Like, I know it's like I guess like to build the story throughout it, but it's like, when you keep doing it over and over, it just kind of begins to be counterproductive. Then the second fall happened. It was a good match. And it was a good match. And Adam Cole won the second fall, of course. And then the third fall, the steel cage. And I don't know, like, this felt really short on time. And that finish really came the fuck out of nowhere. Like, I get what they're trying to go at with Kyle O'Reilly hitting that, using the submission hold while being handcuffed, because he was handcuffed throughout that steel cage match. But like, that finish was kind of out of nowhere, and it really didn't feel like the definitive end to like the Adam Cole run that he had for the last 4 years at NXT. So yeah, Kyle O'Reilly won. Good match, but I think it was the weaker of the 3 matches they have. And what happens to Adam Cole is anybody's guess. I don't even know if he will go to AEW that soon. I know, but I don't know if he will resign. Like, if I was him, and you look at the history of main roster of NXT that's gone through main roster, I don't know if it is best interest to go to like a Raw or a SmackDown, but who knows what happens next. So, main event time for the NXT Championship. You got Samoa Joe returning for the first time in over a year against the NXT champion Karrion Kross, who just debuted on the main roster. And yeah, him debuting on the main roster pretty much killed my interest on this match big time. There was no fucking reason to put Karrion Kross on the main roster as soon as they did, and for the way that they did. He kept losing twice. He kept on losing in his first fucking night, like, Jesus. And even the entrance without Scarlett, I heard some people say that they were that they were some we want started shit. But I didn't heard it because I think they fucking WWE drawn out that shit. But yeah, the build so Karrion Kross being on the being on Monday Night Raw killed my interest for the match. And the match itself was okay. I pretty much expected to be. It was an average match. It wasn't gonna be this hard hit fast paced action. It was pretty much. And with Joe being out of action, he was probably gonna show a bit of a ring rust here. But yeah, but in the end, I really liked the sequence of Joe hitting the King Crush and then Cross hitting his own King Crush. And that came to the definitive finish, which I was shocked. I'll be honest. I did not think they were gonna let Samoa Joe use the Muscle Buster after he almost killed Tyson Kidd, I believe, with that Muscle Buster. That pretty much killed Tyson Kidd's career in WWE, but they let him use it, and I'm happy that they'll let him use the Muscle Buster finish. I think he has used it a few times in NXT, but I know in main roster they haven't fucking let him use the finisher. But yeah, and that's how someone just won his third NXT championship, the first ever 3-time NXT champion. Pretty much as expected to be, as Karrion Kross foolishly demotes himself on the Monday Night Raw. Yes, I say demote to the Monday Night Raw brand. That's what they did to that guy, was just inexcusable. But yeah, this show was really good as far as takeovers. This might be the best one of the year. So yeah, that was the Takeover Vengeance Day, I believe. But yeah, so there's that, my NXT Takeover 36 review. Tell me what you think about, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think about NXT Takeover 36 and the Walter Dragunov match in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Marinius, and I have proved this matches.